good, girl 413 here back in the day, and today we are here for a brand new series in Forza Horizon 4. This is the Series 22 update, and we're going to talk about all the brand new and returning cars coming to Forza Horizon 4 with it, which this update should be launching this upcoming Thursday, which is May 7th. So that is something to definitely look forward to. But I do apologize for how late this video is. Normally I get these uploaded on the day that we get the information. However, though, I was really busy yesterday, and I do apologize for that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. So starting things off, let's go ahead and take a look at our series completion rewards. And coming in at 50% completion, we have the Ford RTR Mustang S5, which honestly, this is probably one of my favorite Mustangs ever. Like, the RTR Mustangs, I look at them and I just absolutely cry tears of joy because they are so gorgeous. The wide body kits, they've also got that really cool custom grille going on. Oh, they look so good. I really do love these. If I ever buy one of the newer generation Mustangs, like, I kind of like the 2015s. Like, if I were to get a 2015 Mustang GT, 100% I'm putting like an RTR kit on it. Like, you can't stop me. That's happening. That is happening. I like it that much. But this car is also pretty expensive and pretty rare. Over in the auction house, it's worth like 12.5 mils. So if you got one of these sitting around and you plan on doing a lot of stuff this upcoming series, I would go ahead and throw that thing in the auction house because you're going to get another one absolutely free, and that'll be a good way to get some extra monies. Moving on to 80% completion, we have the Mercedes-Benz W154, which is a $10 million car over in the auto show. So if you don't have one already, do 80% of the next series and you'll get one, which is pretty dope. It's pretty dope. That's not the only $10 million car that we're actually getting this series, so we'll talk about that here in one of the future seasons. So moving on into summer, what we have at 50% completion is the Volkswagen GRC Beetle. This is going to be the exclusive one. However, though, that doesn't really matter because both the exclusive one and the one you can get over in the auto show have the exact same value in the auction house because a lot of the wheel spin exclusives have become super freaking common because, like, I'm sitting on a stack right now of over 300 wheel spins of, like, the regular ones. I've kind of started running low on the super wheel spins, but yeah, they're starting to become very common, very easy to get. So, not really worth a whole lot, but it is a lot of fun to drive. Moving on to 80% completion, we have another $10 million car. Like I said, we were going to get to another one in a future season, which is the number 24 Ferrari P4. This thing is absolutely badass. It's a great A-class racer. If you haven't ever driven this thing as like an A-class racer, I would highly recommend it. They are so good. I think at one point they were actually considered to be one of the best A-class cars that you could get. I don't remember which game that was. I feel like it was Forza Motorsport 4. So it's been a while since it's been the best, but still at some point this was one of the best cars in the game. Moving on to our seasonal co-op trial event, we have the Porsche 550, which is worth $600,000 over in the auto show. So really nothing too terribly special right there. But moving on to our playground games, you can pick up the 2016 Renault Clio, which is worth $6.5 mil over in the auction house. That is freaking awesome. That is absolutely freaking awesome because who would expect Renault Clio to go for $6.5 mil? I really kind of wish that we had Renault here in the US. Like, we've got all kinds of different, like, front-wheel drive brands. Like, if you want to get a cheap economy car, you can get a Honda Civic, a Ford Focus, a Nissan Versa. You know, you've got all those sort of stuff. But I really kind of like how the Clios look. And honestly, the Renault Clio V6, I freaking love that thing. I love that thing, and I want to own one of them. Although, granted, they are so expensive. They are so expensive. Those things run like 20,000, 30,000 pounds. Like, it's absolutely insane over there in Europe. Jesus Christ, they're a collector item. They didn't make a whole lot of them, and it's a fast all-wheel drive Renault. Like, you don't really see too many of those nowadays. Moving on into our championships, our first one is Classic Rally Rumble, where you can pick up a Lancia Stratus, which is $550,000 over in the auto show, so nothing really too special here. But then we get another exclusive car, a returning exclusive car for its first time, and that is Out of the Count, where you can pick up the Hummer Open Top H1. That is pretty awesome. Like, honestly, it's growing on me. The open top Hummer has grown on me just a little bit. Like, when I first came out, I was like, come on, why do we have the open top? Why can't we, you know, just take the top off our normal H1 Alpha and have an open top Hummer H1 then? But I don't know why. I really like the open top. I hate the one with the top on, actually. Like, honestly, if you could get like the open top and have a nice truck bed on it, oh, I don't know why that's kind of like it makes me think of like the Mercedes-Benz 6x6, like that the G-Wagon. Like that thing is absolutely crazy. That thing is absolutely insane, and I really like that like truck bed on an old SUV look. I don't know why. I don't know why. Some people really hate it. But then, moving on to our last championship, we have our first brand new car of the series, which is What's the Word on the Street, where you can pick up the Toyota Celica ST285! Yes! Yes, I'm in love with this car. I want one of these so bad. They're not too terribly expensive, at least if you want to get a right-hand drive model. If you get a left-hand drive model, they're usually about $10,000 more, because everyone here in the States wants one of these, because I don't know why Toyota Celica weren't sold here. Like, why Toyota? Why didn't you sell them here? We got the Toyota Celica, like the front-wheel drive version, but we didn't get the fucking GT4. Why the hell didn't we get the GT4? I am so pissed off at it. But honestly, this thing is absolutely insane. I can't wait to get it. I've got a tune from Horizon 3, and I remember, like, every single time I would drive this tune, people would go, holy shit, what the hell is in that thing? So I cannot wait to bring that tune over. I am so excited. So moving on into autumn, coming in at 50% completion, we have another returning exclusive, which is actually surprisingly expensive. I didn't realize how expensive this car was actually starting to get, and that is the Hoonigan RS200 at 5.1 mil over in the auction house. I'm actually kind of surprised at that. Like, a lot of people, especially in our live streams that we do on Saturdays, a lot of people love the Hoonigan RS200 because it is really good at playground games. Like, a lot of people use this car all the freaking time. But honestly, I've never really... I love the RS200. I love the Hoonigan RS200, but really, it's not a car I use very often. So I'm probably going to throw mine in the auction house so I can get some money from it. But honestly, you know, it is a good addition. You know, some people... I feel like it's a fairly popular car right now. I feel like it's a very popular car, especially with the new Hoonah Fox that just got revealed by Ken Block. You know, that's going to be pretty interesting right there. At 80% completion, we have the modern racing suit, which let's yeet that out of here. Nobody cares. For our seasonal co-op trial event, we have the Lancia Delta, which is not really worth anything in the auction house. This thing is a... How do I put it? It is one of the over... Like, you get so many of these from the Wheelspin exclusives. They've given this car out, like, 10 times now in festival playlists and all that sort of stuff. It's just... It's gotten so common. I remember at one point I had like 8 of these. I had like 8 of these sitting in my garage, and I had to sell them all for like $34,000 because they're absolutely trash. Like, nobody buys these. Like, it's a fun car to drive, but they're so cheap. Moving on to our playground games, we have the Pagani Zonda R as a reward, which is kind of interesting at 1.7 mil over in the auto show. So if you don't have one of these and you want to go ahead and basically flip a coin, you can pretty much get one of these pretty easily. The playground games, honestly, I find with the seasons, it's basically a coin flip. You know, whatever team you get on, whichever one is the best team is always going to win because, well, I mean, that's kind of the point of games. But the thing is, though, is people just quit. People, like, will just quit out right away. So, you know, I don't really get that with the seasonal playground games, but you can pick one of these up pretty cheap. Moving on to our first championship, we have Too Hot Hatch to Handle, which is probably a reference to that new show, Too Hot to Handle. Oh my god, I got a friend who is obsessed with that show because the whole concept is you take a bunch of beautiful people who have lots and lots of sex, you put them on an island, and then say, you can't have sex. So, that's the whole point of that show. Like, what the hell? Like, it is such a weird concept to me. I'm not going to watch it ever. But you can pick up the 94, actually no, not the 94, the 84 Civic CRX, because we don't have a 94 Civic. We don't have a 94 Civic, we don't have a 94 CRX. So it's the 84. I don't know why I wrote 94 here, but it's worth like $831,000 in the auction house. Not really worth a whole lot, so I might hold on to mine if I were you, or you can sell it, try and make some kind of profit. And then we also have Rally Fighter, where you can pick up, wait, no. Oh god, I read that wrong. We have all-wheel drive all day, where you can pick up the Local Motors Rally Fighter, which is not all-wheel drive. It's a rear-wheel drive car. So I don't know why we're getting a reward for an all-wheel drive event, and we're getting a rear-wheel drive car. That's kind of interesting. It's one thing I always didn't really like about the Local Motors Rally Fighter. I didn't like the fact that it was rear-wheel drive. Man, it's only $100,000 over in the auto show. Like, not really not really the greatest reward here. But then we move on to our final challenge, which is cool cars, where you can pick up the Ford Racing Puma. This is, of course, a brand new car coming into the game. I don't think we've ever had this in a Forza game before. I don't remember it. I probably should actually go ahead and look that up before I say that. But, like, I don't remember having a Ford Racing Puma in Forza. I really, really don't. And it appears that, yeah, we don't actually have it. We don't actually have it. So that is pretty cool. It is going to be an interesting car. You know, we actually don't have a Ford Puma here in the US. Instead, I think they called them, like, Mercury Cougars. It's basically the same car. But we didn't get the racing version. The racing version is kind of... It's become a collectible car. It's become a collectible, but it didn't sell very well. Like, they planned to make about 1,000 of these. They only made 500 of them. And that was because, like, the WRX was just so much better. Like, it had more horsepower. It was also all-wheel drive. It just destroyed this thing. And it was cheaper. And it was cheaper. So nobody bought the Ford Racing Puma, or barely anybody bought them, because they couldn't give them away. And now they're worth the same as they were brand new, and that WRX is not. So I don't know. Moving on into winter, coming in at 50% completion, we also have a brand new car, which is the Toyota Celica ST185, which this was the car that Toyota took to WRC, and it was the first time that they were able to win a manufacturer championship in WRC with Toyota. So, I mean, they had the ST165 in WRC before this, but it wasn't really successful. They bring over the ST185, and boom, they're able to pull off an astonishing victory. It's just absolutely crazy. I kind of like the body lines on this one more than the ST205, but I don't know why. The ST205 does something for me that the ST185 doesn't. It looks bonkers. Like, the front end looks absolutely crazy, and I just want the ST205 so bad. But the ST185, I would take that too. I would take that too. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love to have one of those. Moving on to 80% completion, we have the Liberty Design Jeep Wrangler, which is 1.1 mil over in the auction house. Not exactly that expensive. I mean, we have got this like 3 or 4 times now, so it has been around the block now a few times. One of the coolest Jeeps though that we have in the game. Honestly, I feel like Jeeps are such a heavily modified vehicle, like in real life. I'm surprised we don't have like more modifications available for just like a regular Jeep Wrangler. Like I'm so surprised like we can't, like, you know, throw like Gumpert or VAV4 or anything like that, like parts onto it. It's just like, man, I feel like that would be cool. Like if we could get like one of those angry-eyed Jeeps in the game. Oh, that'd be really, really nice. Moving on to our seasonal co-op trial event, you can pick up the 2004 Subaru WRX, which is 1 mil over in the auction house. One of the few wheel spin exclusives that's actually kind of gone up in price. I'm surprised. I remember these things getting really, really low, so I guess they maybe took them out of some wheel spins here recently with one of the updates. For Playground Yams, you can pick up the Quartz Regalia Type D, so you can get your big old monster truck boy in here at 2.8 mil over in the auction house, which, again, I don't know why we just didn't get a regular Quartz Regalia, because you can get the Quartz Regalia and the Regalia Type D just from that one car. So I feel like that would have been a better option there, but, you know, whatever. Coming into our first championship, we have Mud is Thicker Than Water, where we can get our first brand new car of winter. Actually, no. This is our second brand new car of winter, because we already got one for our 50% completion reward, and that is the Mitsubishi Starion ESI-R. I don't really know a whole lot about this car. I really don't. All I know is that it probably has something to do with rallying, because every other brand new car that we got in this series has something to do with rallying. It's never been something that I've really desired. Like, I don't even know if they sold these in the US. I feel like they did, though. I feel like I've seen Mitsubishi Starions for sale, but not the ESI-R, which I'm guessing is probably an all-wheel drive variant, and they probably made a front-wheel drive shitbox that most people were able to get. But, you know, I really don't know a whole lot about these cars, so I'm interested to see how this thing's going to do in the game. I feel like we've had Mitsubishi Starions, though, in past Forzas. I don't think that this is a brand new Mitsubishi to the Forza franchise, so I don't think I've ever used one. I really don't. I think if I would get one, it would just sit in my garage forever, and I would never touch it. Moving on, though, we have our next championship, which is Off-Road Rampage, where you can pick up the Land Rover Series 3 Forza Edition, but it's a Forza Edition, so yeet it the fuck on out of here. And we do the same thing in the next championship, Cold Commute, where we get the BMW M6 Forza edition. So again, yeet it on out of here. Nobody cares about Forza editions anymore. So moving on into spring, we come to our first brand new car of spring, which is our 50% completion reward at the Nissan Pulsar GTI-R, which is basically a little version of a Skyline. It's all-wheel drive, hot hatch, rallying hero with an SR20. Like, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I didn't know that you could put an SR20 into an all-wheel drive car. But I was talking about this in my other video, is that I have heard of some people putting them into non-GTR spec Skylines because it does give it some pretty awesome weight distribution for drifting. But this is going to be a fun car. Like, I'm actually really excited. It looks bonkers. It really, really does. I am actually so excited for this thing. I can't wait to drive it. Moving on to 80% completion, we have the 1967 Chevrolet Chevelle SS, which I've talked about this before. I actually had a great grandmother who had a pink one of these, and my mom absolutely kind of fell in love with it because it was her grandmother who had it, and I've always told her that if I ever win the lottery, that's what I'm going to buy. I'll buy her a pink 1967 Chevrolet Chevelle SS, because that's what she wants. That is what she wants. You can get this over in the auction house for $1 million, so if you want to make a little bit of money, you can go ahead and just sell yours and make a little bit of a profit. Moving on to our seasonal co-op trial event, we have the Ferrari 512S, which is worth $2.1 million over in the auction house. I'm a little surprised at that because I know this is kind of like an actual race car spec Ferrari, but I don't think we've only had this optioned out 2 other times to us, so I would feel like it's kind of rare, but I guess not too many people are actually super interested in it because it's not like, you know, the greatest car out there. I mean, it's a cool car to drive, it's a fun car to drive, but, you know, it's not like a super competitive car, I will say that. Moving on to our playground games, we have the 93 Mustang Fox body, which I'm sure that's going to be super popular, especially with the Hoonah Fox. You know, everyone and their mom has been talking about that Hoonah Fox, like, Jesus Christ, which is worth $1.7 million over in the auction house, which I'm really surprised about because I feel like I've sold a bunch of these for like $50,000 before because they weren't worth anything. So the price of these is kind of started to go up just a little bit. Then we move on to our first championship, which is the car in front where you can pick up a modern race helmet, but no one really cares about clothing on them, so let's yeet it on out of here. Then we have Sugar O Buggy, where you can pick up the Illumicraft Forza edition, which, oh my god, why? Why this car? Because honestly, when it comes to the championships with buggies, like, the way that they go about it, I really hate it, because they always make them off-road, and they make it so that your buggy has to drive through fucking brick walls, and every time you hit a brick wall in your buggy, unless you're using the Mini, you get slowed down because buggies are super light. They're not meant to drive through a brick wall. So you end up losing the race, and there's always like one drivatar that is super fucking fast. Like, you're at 80% completion, he's already done. Like, but you're in second place, you just can't catch him. It's just, I don't know. And the drivatars can just drive through the brick walls without getting slowed down. I don't understand this. I hate the buggy races in this game. I don't know about you guys. Leave a comment down below if you also hate buggy races. I feel like they should just be like, you know, like, they should be trails. They should be on trails. They shouldn't be extreme. They shouldn't be cross-country events. They should be dirt racing. That's what it should be. But I don't know. I don't work at Forza. I don't make the decisions. But moving on to our final championship, we have our last brand new car of Series 22, which is Stardew Rally, where you can pick up the Peugeot 205R. Now, this is different than the other Peugeot 205 that we already have in the game. The one that we have in the game is the wide body homologation spec version. Very rare, very expensive. This one is the one for the lay people. They wanted to make a car that could handle and still be a fun experience to drive for the people who couldn't afford the homologation spec. So what they did is they took all these other parts off the homologation spec, they put them on here. This is a front-wheel drive car instead of being all-wheel drive. So, but they wanted to make a car that was fun to drive for people, and then they only offered it in white. So, they only offered this car in white to kind of keep costs down. They stripped it all out. They didn't add all the nice luxuries like a radio or an air conditioner. So they made this car as cheap as possible. That way they could sell it to the market, and people could have a fun experience. And they wouldn't have to necessarily pay an arm and a leg for that experience. So anyway, though, that's where we're going to wrap things up for today. Leave a comment down below. Let me know which car are you guys most excited about. I probably got to say it's the Celica ST285. I've been begging for this car for months now. I have been begging for this car for months. I cannot wait to drive this thing. I am so freaking excited. Like, I know I normally have the rule in place where, you know, like for each season I have to use the car that we have to use in the challenge for the Forza, and I use that in our playground games. I'm probably going to bring out that ST205. I'm going to bring out that ST205 because I love that thing to death. But anyway, like I said, this is where we're going to wrap things up for today. If you want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Gurf413 and Instagram.com/Gurf413. And if you like this video, go and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye.